feed seemed a bit wonky. Stuck at 6 viewers and 6 likes. Varying up and down a little bit, but come on, guys. If you're watching, like, share, sub, you know what to do. It helps, I guess. I know. Seems like the more likes I end up getting on the feed, the less views I get. So, nothing like seeing 20, 25 likes on a page and 6 viewers. it's a weird thing to look at. But I don't get the rub. I'm not like Rathbone. I'm not, Ian Carroll, Dan Bilzerian, Jeremy Lee. I'm not any of these guys that seem to be allowed to fucking Tucker Carlson. What a piece of shit he is. Why do people keep falling for him? He is confirmed CIA connected. That's it. That's all you need to know. Okay, done. He's not a person you listen to anymore. I mean, you can get information from these sources, but you can't follow these sources. The best truthers are going to give you bits and pieces to, the more they can give you, the more credibility they have. But it's all manufactured when you look at the reality of things. Do you know how fucked the system would be if they let me get there? They let a guy whose band is producing a song a week since the beginning of 2026 and already had 100+ songs on the catalog. Do you understand the power that comes with if allowed to? Because music is, me doing the live feed is the ultimate goal where we're all here sort of in the same world, but there's lots of people that don't speak English as a first language, and they're going to miss a lot of what's being said. Whereas the music, they can look at the lyrics, they can translate anything they need to. This is the unifier. That's the glue. That's why they use it against us like they do. If music wasn't the most powerful weapon, young Gotti, Lil Yachty, Gotti, Lottie, Flotty, Dottie, wouldn't be, pushed in front of you time and time again. Bacardi and party. Yeah, I said Bacardi and black ice. Like I'm Far Side. Oh shit, ain't tricking if you got it. These phrases hit the lexicon, and then every rapper uses it that drops an album in that little window. It's fucking silly, man. I remember I was in like 7th or 8th grade, 8th grade, and my girlfriend was Carla Howe. And Carla was so far out of my league. She was one of those naturally cool people. Just knew all the cool bands and just like cool. She was just cool. I don't know how else to describe. She was really, really cool. And she told me, I remember we were talking about a song or something, and she was like, no, I don't like when somebody puts a word like cool in a song or groovy or whatever, because those words fall out of favor and they end up sounding silly or some shit like that. And I just had no concept of what she was talking about, but it's always stuck with me. I'll go, man. You got to check out the previous video, man. I blew open the act.il narrative. The act.il narrative is so much deeper than we think. Well, it's not, it's actually not. It's exactly what you think it is, but there's a it's well defined exactly what it is in the real article. And it's just shocking, Jewish Currents is the name of the publication. And the article is called Call of Duty. And they lay it out, man. It's fucking crazy. It's just so crazy. I hadn't planned on talking about this today. Today I wanted to talk about the continuation of the first, second, third, fourth, fifth Aliyah. Remember, we were talking about that yesterday. And how what's happening right now, like, as Americans, we've been tricked into believing that it all has to do with the Holocaust. And that's just not the truth. It's just not. They were literally bringing in roughly 10 or 15,000 friars a year into Palestine since like the 1900s. And they just called it these different waves, these aliyahs, the first aliyah, the second aliyah. Well, the first aliyah was a long time ago, like supposedly like 1400, shit, stupid shit, right? But the second aliyah took place between 1904 and 1914. And honestly, I think that it sort of points to the idea that their thing isn't nearly as old as you think it is, or as we're told it is. You know, their thing seemingly exists from about 1860 on. And I know that sounds weird to people, but, you know, the first Hebrew dictionary wasn't invented until 1903 by a guy called Eliezer Ben Yehuda. And, you know, it's like everything is in front of you. And you don't even have to look at some crazy conspiracy guy or some Alex Jones or me or, Stu Peters or any. And the thing is, all of those guys seem to be reading off the same fucking script. Right? They all seem to say the same shits. You got to believe in Jesus, the satanic pedophilia, can't blame the whole cult, only blame the Zionists and the, Like it's strange, but it fits. It's Project Esther, or Esther Project Esther, where it's acknowledged that they pay influencers to either focus on Israel or take focus away from Israel or whatever. And then you combine that with act.il, and you combine that with Team Jorge, and you combine all these things together, and the narrative is right in front of you, right? It's right there. And, some of the most obvious and telling aspects of it are on a page like mine where, there's clearly a lot of opposition, in the comment section and whatnot. Yet they never seem to be able to address anything being said. They like their blanket statements and they like their ad hominem nonsense, but it's never anything of importance. I'm just shocked. And for those that are wondering, I guess you weren't here, so act.il. This is actually, I put act.il app into the Google machine to see what it would say. And the AI overview says, act.il is a social media application designed to mobilize a global community of volunteers for pro-Israel online activism, countering anti-Israel content and the BDS movement. And they hide behind that Israel moniker because it's not just Israel. If you oppose their entire cult, the Themish cult, the friars, then you're definitely attacked as well. The app provides daily, quote, missions, such as liking, sharing, or reporting content to shape online discourse, offering points and badges to users. The points and badges, from what I can tell, I thought it was about prizes like trips to Israel or new houses, but it's not. It's actually, it's about gaining rank. The more points you get, the higher your rank is. And the higher your rank is, the more you get put into the group. The higher your position is going to be as a nothing, whatever, who gets paid well, but prestige-wise, the vast majority of it said, is just, dumbass nothings who are trying to gain some traction, trying to gain some sort of favor. The bad part is, so many of these friars kind of don't realize, like, you're a part of the, your abuse. They can't have all of you be on top all the time. If every one of you was always on top, it would be way too obvious. So there has to be a large portion of sacrifice that needs to not live the extraordinary good life, and it needs to be the fucking dumbass penguins you see walking around all inbred and stupid. That's such a great shield. It's like the first 3 levels of Freemasonry, right? You got an uncle that's a Freemason, and he's Uncle Touchy, and he's fucking weird, but he's nothing special. Yeah, the Freemasons, 3 levels is nothing. It's just a group of dumbasses sit around and drink beer. That's what you're supposed to think. Oh no, they're just the Hasidiotics. They're just, they're just a group of weirdos. Yeah, they do the penis thing, and the soul. Yeah, they do all that really bad stuff, but it's just a small group. It's how they operate, man. Key aspects of the act.il app. Purpose. The app facilitates digital diplomacy or propaganda aimed at promoting Israel's perspective and countering criticism, often termed as hasbara. Functionality. Users receive notifications for missions, including commenting on news sites, reporting content to social media platforms, and signing petitions. Targeted platforms. Activism takes place on major platforms, including Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Organization. Initially launched in 2017, the initiative is supported by the Interdisciplinary Center Herzliya, IDC, and the Israeli American Council, the IAC. Controversy. Critics have described the app as digital political astroturfing, a fake grassroots campaign aimed at controlling online conversations, and have noted its collaboration with Israeli security forces. The app has been reported to have thousands of active users worldwide who participate in coordinated social media activities. 40,000 plus were transferred to the Rise app when it was transferred to Rise, when it became the Rise app earlier this year. You guys understand how fucking telling this is? Seriously. Act.io. Wiki, we've read that. Security flaw in Israeli propaganda app exposed. Ooh, the Intercept. What's this say? Israel pours millions of dollars into propaganda but couldn't keep its own advocates' emails safe. A propaganda app connected to the Israeli government failed to include basic privacy and security protections, putting the email addresses of at least 1,900 of the Israeli government's most ardent supporters at risk. The vulnerabilities in the app, called act.il, were discovered by an independent security researcher who disclosed the flaws to the Intercept. Act.il has been touted for months by Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs. It was funded by 3 nonprofit partners: Maccabee Task Force, a pro-Israel campus group, the Israeli-American Council, a nonprofit that promotes ties between the U.S. and Israel, and IDC Herzliya, an Israeli research institution. All three received substantial funding from the billionaire casino magnate Sheldon Adelson, who has poured money into right-wing pro-Israel causes and Donald Trump's presidential campaign. He's their number one donor, and that's all I can read. It won't let me go any further. So they're kind of having a contest to see who can do it best. Sort of, but more so they're trying to find, like, it's how you weed out all the average dumb, friars who are just, the baby makers and whatnot. This is how you find your best agents. The ones that can, get the most points to earn the most stripes are the ones you bring into the fold. Like I'm telling you, this is one of those things that should be viral, like the Grok voice thing. These are things that if I wasn't being censored to bejesus, this would be a huge fucking breakthrough. I'm proving what the claim has been for quite some time, but I'm literally proving it to you. I'm proving it to you way more than anybody proves the contrary, that's for sure. Shadowy Israeli app turns American friars into foot soldiers. This is the Forward wrote this. Shadowy Israeli app turns American friars into foot soldiers in online war. Josh Nathan Kazis. By Josh Nathan Kazis. November 30th, 2017. The dozen or so Israelis sitting around a conference table at a Friar Community Center in Tenafly, New Jersey, on a recent Wednesday night didn't look like the leading edge of a new Israeli government-linked, crowdsourced online propaganda campaign. Tapping on laptops, the group of high school students and adult mentors completed social media, quote, missions assigned out of a headquarters in Herzliya, Israel. That any more need to be said? Later, some planned the shooting of a pro-Israel video that weekend. At the end of the evening, adult mentors filled out a form to send a report back to the office in Herzliya. Call it a pro-Israel human botnet. The Herzliya headquarters is the base of act.il, a hybrid Israel advocacy effort and online information operation. A joint project of two Israeli not-for-profits, it is led by former Israeli intelligence officers and has close ties to Israel's intelligence services. Its Ministry of Strategic Affairs and American Jewish casino billionaire Sheldon Adelson. Act.il's leaders framed the program as an effort to counterbalance anti-Israel attitudes online. Act.il aims to build a strong and effective online community that will act to change the narrative, said the project's founder and CEO, Yarden Ben Yosef. The project comes amid a wave of Israeli and American friar efforts to push back against the boycott, divestments, and sanctions movements. As Russian bots and hackers demonstrated in 2016, oh yeah? Governments and other actors are increasingly interested in seeking ways to distort the information landscape and mold online discourse. Act.il is a new entry into this online propaganda war, but instead of Russian-style bots and hackers, it has thousands of mostly US-based volunteers who can be directed from Israel into a social media swarm. And actually, they do have the other side, right? They have the Team Jorge side that is the bot farm, creating as many as 30,000 bots at any given time. Back in 2022, mind you. Who knows what they're capable of by 2026? Act.il's tools include a mobile app and volunteer teams in America. Fully operational since June of 2017, its work so far offers a starting glimpse of how it could shape the online conversations about Israel without ever showing its hand. It's an effort in which Israeli security officials are playing a strong supporting role at the very least. Ben Yusuf, an eight-year veteran of Israeli army intelligence, initially told the Forward that Israel's military and its domestic intelligence service, the Shin Bet, request act.il's help in getting services like Facebook to remove specific videos that call for violence against friars or Israelis. Yeah, that's what they get rid of. Because there's all those videos always calling for violence against a group. People want to get their fucking pages taken down, so they call for violence against any group. You know how stupid that is? That's not what they're taking down. They only take down shit that well, they take that shit down too, if it does exist, but they take down anything that doesn't fit their narrative. Later, Ben Yusuf walked back that statement, saying that the Shin Bet and the army don't request help on specific videos, but are in regular informal contact with act.il. He said that act.il staff is largely made up of former Israeli intelligence officers. So he said it, and then he was like, oh yeah, well, I mean, I didn't mean it. Either he has zero credibility, which he doesn't, or they told him to walk that shit back. We know each other. He said of his group's relationship with members of Israel's intelligence community. You don't get a link to a specific video. You don't get sent a link to a specific video. We talk with each other. We work together. Sure. First he says that they're guided on what to attack. And then he's like, well, okay, well, let me think about it. Well, no, we just know each other. What the hell? We just talk. We just have long, meaningful conversations. Act.il is a joint project of the Israeli University IDC Herzliya, the private Israeli university, and the U.S.-based Israeli American Council. Begun as a community group for Israeli Americans, Sheldon Adelson has sought since 2013 to turn IAC into a hardline alternative to the American Israeli Public Affairs Committee, or AIPAC. Funny how they don't actually use the abbreviation there, so you don't make the connection if you're not paying attention. Sheldon Adelson was trying to be a more powerful organization than AIPAC. Why do you suppose that is? Why do you suppose good old Shelley was wanted to control that too? Good old Shelley. Good old Shelley. The Maccabee Task Force, the Adelson-backed fundraising group for anti-BDS efforts, is also a major funder of act.il. At the center of act.il's operations is an app made public in June. The app assigns Israel advocacy missions to its users, which they complete for points. Wait, where's the guy that said, well, you're just reading some what did he say? Some dubious website that's saying these things. Where's that dumbass? Because this must be another dubious website saying the exact same shit. Pointing out all these exact same connecting connections. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't anybody else think it's amazing how that just keeps happening? I think it's really weird how that just, magically just keeps happening over and over again. But what do I know? I'm trash. I'm so terrible at what I do. You're going to keep watching me day after day after day after day, video after video. Keep coming back, like, share, and sub. Because I'm just so terrible at what I do. Man, I wish all the trolls would sub. That would boost my numbers by a bunch, right? I mean, they should. They're here all the time. Why do they need to be assigned this mission every day? I guess that must be associated with the points. Joe's dumbass was here literally within like 15 seconds of me being live this morning. Talking about where are we going to meet up? Oh, knocked back down. Now we're down to 1 viewer and 5 likes, as always. In November, one of those missions was to comment on a specific post on a Facebook page of the pro-Palestinian website Electronic Infantada. The post linked an article that criticized the Dutch embassy in Israel over a promotion it was running in the Israeli supermarket chain Shufarasol, which has locations in the West Bank settlements. Now, it's interesting because the other dubious article used different examples. Weird that this one wouldn't just use the same dubious examples. Act.il asked users to, quote, leave a comment to uncover EI's biased reporting and to feel free, quote, feel free to like other comments you agree with. Good. Ruined that guy's life over a small bag of weed. Yeah, good. I know we're all safer now because you got that small bag of weed off the streets. The mission offered sample text to leave on the page. Electronic Infantada's Facebook post quickly drew an odd array of comments, many of which consisted of the same stilted language from the samples. See, they used to do that to my shit, right? But when I instinctively was pointing all of this out and showing, especially when they were doing the schizophrenic thing over and over again, and I was experiencing the same sort of dumb shit in random Facebook comments and whatnot. Anytime I'd say anything about anything Friar, they'd be like, oh, schizophrenia, take your meds. You need to take your meds. But that's the same thing that they literally made in a South Park episode about this. Right? They literally made the Cupid Yee episode. Just keeping ponytails are gay. So Tatum or Caden, how do you like your dudes' haircuts then? You like dudes to have like short hair? Do you like dudes to have like spiky hair? Like, how do you prefer your dudes to have their haircut? Promoting different cultures and foods in Israel is a great way to bring people closer to one another, 2 commenters wrote using the app's sample text. Schufel, or Schufursel, and the Dutch embassy take public diplomacy to the next level, 3 more wrote. Right, like they all write the same thing. Like any regular people are going to say the exact same comment, exact same spelling mistakes, exact same grammar mistakes. These kinds of things used to happen all the time on here. And this was back when I was allowed to have viewership. They eventually got frustrated with getting their asses kicked so badly that now they just censor the fuck out of me. Right? Good morning. You know, I guarantee if you guys share this feed, like say on your Facebook page, ooh, can't say those words. Even if you share it with the heading, this guy's crazy, you won't see anything. You could be somebody that when you share stuff, it gets tons of views, tons of likes, tons of comments. Every single thing you post. You share something of mine, it'll seem like your people can't even see it. Wait, let's go back to the haircut. No, I want to know how you like your haircuts. Come on, Caden. Tell us about how you like dude's hair to be cut. Please enlighten us. Like, the funniest thing is, the claim that I'm not censored, it can easily be proven. Just go look at the previous numbers. Go look at everything that happened before September 10th and everything that happened since. And you will clearly see something happened on September 10th that completely killed my feed, completely kirked my feed. Matt, what's happening? Guess what, Matt? I'm not censored. Man, you got to check out the other video from this morning. Because I completely, well, we're still doing it on here. Like, act.il is exactly what you thought it was, but there's a lot more information on it available. Right. Electronic Infantada's executive director, Ali Abulimi, said that he hadn't noticed a strange commenting pattern. Even if he had, there would have been no way for him to know that act.il had targeted his site. The tactic resembles a well-documented online propaganda strategy called flooding, employed at much larger scale by states like China. Oh, yeah. Yeah, China does it a lot more. You can literally find videos of Suckerdick talking about how he's so proud that Facebook puts in the efforts that they do, and they just recently got rid of 1,000 bot profiles out of China and 800 out of the Philippines. And yet no mention comes of Team Jorge and their ability to create 30,000 bots at any given time. Like, it's fucking crazy, right? Yeah, I'm not censored. I just have 3 viewers and 7 likes. 2,500 subscribers. I mean, that's what makes sense, right? That's what happens when you look at videos all the time, right? No censorship here. Come on. The tactic, blah, blah, blah. According to David Posen, a professor at Columbia University's law school, flooding constitutes blasting a large amount of content into a particular web space. You just distract attention away from messages that you don't want to get focused on and take advantage of the scarcity of listener attention to dilute the force of messages, he said. He cited a study by the Harvard political scientist that found the Chinese government pays workers to post hundreds of millions of pieces of content a year to flood Chinese social media sites. But see, China does it to China about China. Israel does it to the United States, along with the United States, to benefit Israel. There's a big difference there, right? And they don't see their own hypocrisy, which is great, right? It's great because if they don't see their own hypocrisy and stupidity, then they just keep bringing it. Like Caden, that's because you're yapping about nothing. Smoking weed is not entertaining. I know, that's why you're here, though. And I want to know, like, if I had what haircut, how do you like your dude's hair to be cut so that you can then focus on what they're saying and not be so distracted by how they look. Come on, Caden. Tell us. Tell us about your preference in dudes. And of course, act.il, of course, is not operating at anything close to that scale. Those Chinese volunteers acting of their own volition, not paid workers, do its work. That's not true. It's just in a different level. Like I say, they get points and then badges. And forever I thought about the badges as just translating into prizes. But instead it's actually more literal. It's badges. You get more stripes on your uniform. And if you get enough stripes, you get to, rise up in the company, so to speak. I'm just here to call your ponytail gay. I know. How do you like your dude's haircut, though? That's what we're trying to figure out, Caden. Tell us how you like haircuts on dudes. You have a preference, I'm sure. Oh, you like your men bald. Okay. Is that because you don't like the hair getting all in places, or I bet you like them bald all the way down. Oh, well. Yeah. I guess when you like kids, you like everything bald, don't you? Damn, Caden. Outing yourself, huh? You like it all bald and shaved up real nice, or not even, you don't like you like it where they don't even have to shave. Ben Yusuf said that the involvement of real activists is key to the concept. Companies in Israel had offered to build him a botnet to automate the sort of social media tasks his app assigns to users. He said he chose not to do so. We believe in real people, he said. Despite the project's limited scale, let me just stress it's limited again, act.il's ambitions are large. Good. At least you're cool with it, dude. We accept you here. Not the pedophile thing, though. Yeah, that part means you should die. But outside of that, so you can pay attention to what's being said, but only slightly? Or are you here trying to distract and trying to interfere in the dissemination of the information? Basically, like it says you guys are tasked to do. Let's see. This should answer some questions. Joined 12 years ago, has 1 subscriber. Fifth through search history. Yep. Yeah, these articles showing you who's actually controlling your shit. Companies in Israel had offered blah blah blah. He said blah blah. Despite the other outlets whose Facebook posts act.il has recently targeted include RT News, ABC News, the Kuwait Times, and the Telegraph. The app has frequently requested that users like comments by a poster named Wendy Wah, whose Facebook profile identifies her as a student at IDC Herzliya, and whose writing at times reads like a diplomatic communique. Other missions ask users to report videos that calls for violence against friars or Israel, literally repeating the same fucking words, word for word, just to drive the point home. Ben Yusuf told the Forward that Israeli government officials have told him that the act.il app is more effective than official government requests at getting those videos removed from online platforms. There you go. The act.il app has also assigned missions that go beyond cyberspace. In one recent instance, a mission asked users to contact their U.S. senators to support a federal anti-BDS law. Ben Yusuf said the act.il does no lobbying and that the mission was likely a mistake. Oh, we made another mistake. Yeah, isn't that great? Isn't it great, Matt? Funny, too. Literally called Caden a pedophile now several times. Doesn't bother him. Federal law in the United States requires that individuals trying to influence American policy on behalf of foreign principals register with the Department of Justice as foreign agents. Legal experts told the Forward that act.il's activities, as described, likely would not require registration under the Foreign Agents Registration Act. Why not? That doesn't make any sense. Even if it did, it's not the kind of case historically that would raise government's dander, said Steve Valdek, a law professor at the University of Texas, Austin. In addition to its informal ties to Israel's intelligence apparatus, act.il has an even closer relationship with the Israel's Minister of Strategic Affairs, a relatively new office that focuses on opposing the BDS movement. See, that's what the BDS thing is about. Because if they can just label anything they don't like in that category, then they're like, look, we're justified because this is an organization against us. The minister, Gilad Erdan, promoted the app's impending launch at the Celebrate Israel parade in February, and the ministry placed paid articles boosting the app in the Jerusalem Post and the Times of Israel. So they're paying the newspapers to run the ad for the app, but they're not paying the app's users. And they don't really need to. You know, these people don't work, so they're sitting around kind of bored. They're mean. They have a lot of built up, abuse and aggression that they want to take out on something else. And so this is a great opportunity. Plus, it gives them the opportunity for advancement. A spokesman for the ministry said that act.il is a separate entity from the Ministry of Strategic Affairs. If you had to say that, then it's not. Ben Yusuf said that the Ministry of Strategic Affairs is a partner, but does not order specific missions. Oh, there we go again. Same rhetoric. He said that his team is on a Ministry of Strategic Affairs email list that highlights issues selected by the ministry. We're not telling you to focus on these things, but if you want to, here's some issues. Like, that's literally, this is what they're saying, hoping you're dumb enough to fall for it. Act.il says that its app has 12,000 signups so far and 6,000 regular users. This is months after its launch. So imagine what it is now. And they literally tell you on the Rise app website that they transferred the 40,000 plus user base from act.il. Look at this woman's got big old weed plants in her backyard. That's hilarious. She's causing a danger to the rest of the world by trying to grow her own medicine. The users are located all over the world, though the majority of them appear to be in the United States. Users get points for completed missions. Top-ranked users complete 5 or 6 missions a day. Top users win prizes, a congratulatory letter from a government minister, or a doll of Ben-Gurion, Israel's founding prime minister. So that takes us, there is fucking prizes, God damn it, Karen, there are prizes now. In addition to the app, act.il produces pro-Israel web content that carries no logo. It distributes that content to other pro-Israel groups, including the Adelson-funded Friar Fraternity Alpha Epsilon Phi and the Israel Project, which pushes them out on their own social media feeds. As the app continues to get off the ground, act.il is building a network of local media rooms in cities across the United States. The media rooms are a human side of the act.il operation, community building efforts for local Israeli Americans. But they also serve as ways to bring act.il's online tool to local activists and local fights. In November, the Boston Media Room created a mission for the app that asked users to email a Boston area church to complain about a screening there of a documentary that is critical of Israel. The proposed text of the email likens the screening of the film to the white supremacist riot in Charlottesville, Virginia, and calls the film's narrator, Pink Floyd frontman Roger Waters, a well-known anti-Semite. Yeah, but if they want to show Schindler's List, that's okay. While some friar activists had campaigned against the film screening, local friar establishment groups, including Boston's Friar Community Relations Council, pointedly did not. Think about how many of these special friar group they're naming off. The Friar Community Relations Council, the friar establishments, the media rooms, all these different things that nobody else has. Tammy Levy, an IAC employee, IAC, runs the act.il media room in Tenafly. On the Wednesday, the Forward, there you go, visited Levy, opened the evening session with a PowerPoint presentation. Going around the room, Levy asked the adult and high school student volunteers for advice for a few of their number asked volunteers for advice for a few of their number who were being sent out that weekend with a hired professional videographer to shoot a pro-Israel video in Washington Square Park. Enjoy the mission, one adult mentor said. The Boston and Tenafly media rooms are 2 of 5 planned or active in the United States. The Boston wing operates in cooperation with the combined Friar Philanthropies of Greater Boston, another group. Another soon to open in New York will be hosted in Manhattan by the Paul R. Singer Foundation, funded by the Republican hedge fund billionaire. In New Jersey, Levy also runs regular act.il advocacy training sessions at the Frisch School, a local friar day school. Teaching the kids to do it. We go a little bit deeper than they actually understand everything, so they actually understand everything they're doing, Levy said. Jesus Christ. Much of the work of the media room seemed to be managed closely by Ben Yusuf's headquarters in Herzliya. This is Israel influencing American kids at school. Levy said that ideas and material for the weekly sessions come from staff at headquarters. One adult volunteer was busy filling out a spreadsheet from Herzliya with time slots for posting content on the local media room's social media feeds. At the end of the weekly session, the adult mentors fill out a weekly update form that is sent back to the headquarters in Israel. Act.il is difficult to contextualize within the traditional frameworks of online propaganda campaigns. I do Kilovatki, a cyber fellow at Yale Law School's Center for Global Legal Challenges and Skull and Bonesman, said that it seemed to be a, quote, form of information operation enabled by crowdsourcing techniques paired with a strong ideological motive backed by authoritative approval or authoritative appeal. In other words, an attempt to manipulate online media with the help of a large number of ideological volunteers. Despite early hiccups, it could be the future of Israel's online efforts to improve its international image. The Ministry of Strategic Affairs has been embracing secretive data-focused programs in its effort against BDS. Initiatives in cyberspace seem likely to increase. BDS doesn't even really ring like it. You never hear about BDS anymore. Yet, this shit was just reinstated. It's a beautiful initiative that brings the support of Israel to the same place under the same supporter of Israel to the same place under the same vision of helping the state of Israel online and doing it in a simple and smart way, Ben Yusuf said. My God. Look, Kaylin Conrad put up a video on YouTube. Israel-funded propaganda app is back. He put that up 2 months ago. Well, that's pretty fucking awesome. Who is this
Thinking
guy?
about starting to run on the treadmill again. I need to drop my belly fat.
Yeah, no, that's total BS.
5 years ago, I investigated an Israeli propaganda app that turned harassment.
Oh, I gotta find this guy. This guy has 82 videos, 176,000 subscribers, and his average numbers seem to be in the 100 to 200,000s. Interesting, huh? A gay guy with his proper setup.
People speaking against the genocide in Palestine into a game with a leaderboard and everything. The app's main purpose was to astroturf their way into silencing anyone.
That guy's not going to appeal to most non-gay people. This is fucking crazy. Listen to this. I've been listening to you for a while, and I'm going to say you're very boring indeed. So you've been listening for a long time, but I'm boring. That makes so much sense, right? Yeah, that makes so much sense. God, you fucking inbred friars are dumb as fuck. You just cannot help it. That inbred stupidity makes you say the dumbest fucking things. And you think you're like, oh, I'm going to get him this time. You're so dumb. Anyway, have yourself a great day. Check out all the links in the description. This is just getting started, so have yourself a great day. Pedophiles, you kill yourself.